Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Hiya Toys Predator 2 Guardian Predator figure. This is part of their exquisite mini line of figures. Does not want to stand up. I should cut it and just redo it, but I've done this like 4 times. The damn thing keeps falling. That will be one of the problems with the figure, but it is actually a pretty cool figure otherwise. So, let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 12 centimeters, which makes it just about 4 3/4 inches. So it does have a little bit of size to it for that smaller kind of G.I. Joe scale figure. So I think that's pretty appropriate for the Predator. So that's pretty cool. Now these guys do come in at a price point right around the same price as NECA's Predators, which are like 8.5 inches tall or something like that. But I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to compare them directly. These guys come with generally a little bit more accessories and, well, maybe not more articulation. I don't know. I don't collect the smaller scale figures, so I don't know. I think maybe it's an okay price point. It might be a little high, but there is a lot of good stuff going on here. If you look pretty close, for a small scale figure, this thing has quite a bit of detail in it. You can see the mesh around the torso and all of the different skin tones throughout the figure. Lots of shading, lots of those little freckles and things. Sure, the skin tones could be a little bit more uniform. You see we have this kind of lighter color on the backs of the legs and on the fronts of the legs, so basically the upper thighs. This part of the bicep, it's not completely uniform. It goes right into the darker brown for the shoulder, but it's not too bad. I think it's okay. And especially for this size, I think they did a really good job with the paint. So that's pretty good. The sculpt is also very clean. It's a very sharp sculpt. You don't really see too many muddy details. Now I know the Predators kind of have a muddy detail type of look on most of their, what are they called? Biomasks? I think that's what it's called. But you can see like all the sharp lines do look sharp. So that's pretty good. And the hair is done basically just like NECA's, only a lot smaller. So I think that's pretty good. I think they did a pretty good job with this line. It does come with quite a few accessories, so let's go ahead and talk about those. It has the little shoulder cannon thingy, which is just a tiny little piece that slides forward and back on the shoulder pad, but you do have that. You have a total of 6 different hands. You have 2 gripping hands, 2 relaxed hands, and 2 wide open hands, and they're very nicely detailed. We do also have the spear, which is elongated and closed up, so 2 different options there. We have the throwing disc, we have a little human skull, and then we have a display stand, which has little clips to hook them together with other display stands from the line. So that's not a bad spread of accessories. I think it's okay. Now, as far as the articulation goes on this guy, we have a couple of ball pegs for the head and neck, which allow him to look around pretty effectively. Don't really have too much of an issue. You can pretty much get him to do whatever you want. Even looks up pretty far, relatively speaking. Down really far, so really nice range of motion there. The shoulders are your standard ball hinges. So they don't go that far up due to the shoulder pad, but you do get decent range. A little bit less on this side because it's a different shoulder pad. But you do have the full rotation. Of course, your bicep swivel happens underneath the shoulder pad, which I think is a good call. They did a good job with that. And then on this side, it's pretty standard. Only single jointed elbows, unfortunately. But you get almost 90 degrees, so that's okay. You do get a swivel in the forearm, so that's pretty good. And then the hands are on ball pegs. You can see I popped it off right there. The hands are a nice soft material, relatively soft anyway, so that you won't have any trouble swapping them out. You're not going to have to break anything that's this tiny doing it. So no big deal. That's a good thing. And on this side, we do have the extending blades, which is very nice. I think that's a really good feature. I wasn't expecting it to be included on such a small figure, but it is. So I do like it. And they're fairly soft, so you're going to really have to try to break these if you want. If you want to break them, it's not going to happen accidentally, so you're going to have to live with that. For the upper torso, we have just a single ball peg. It feels like it could be a double, but we do get a little bit lean side to side, forward and back pretty good, and then we have full rotation. For the lower torso, we have nothing. This is a soft piece right here, so it's going to get out of the way of the hips pretty effectively. The hips are just ball pegs with a thigh swivel, so they're a little bit floppy side to side. And not so bad forward and back, though. They're not too bad. That'll work out okay. Thigh swivel works just fine. And then for the knees, we have a double jointed knee, which doesn't give you the best range, but it's probably good enough. It's a little bit ugly, but I think it's okay. It's just a little bit of the paint coming off in there. Not terrible. Then for the ankles, we have a swivel, which is kind of silly, but they have it. And then there's a hinge in there, but it just really does not want to work, and that's why he kept falling over. So ultimately, it's a really solid figure overall. However, it has a couple problems in that the ankles don't really work, the hips are pretty loose, and it's got a relatively high price point. He does have a decent batch of accessories and a really nice paint job, so I can't complain about that. But it's something to consider at least. The price point is definitely going to be an issue. So I think those of you that collect this scale, I think you probably are going to like these. But I don't know. Maybe that price point isn't even too high for this type of thing. I'm not sure. They asked if I wanted to review them. I said sure. So here you go. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I just can't say because I don't buy this stuff in this scale, so I can't make an objective statement on that. So you guys are going to have to decide for yourselves. But now you have all the information you need. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.